Hi. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are here to talk about how to identify upsell opportunities and increase your profits. I am joined today by some industry experts who I will introduce here in a few minutes, but mostly what we're going to cover today is how you can identify those upsell opportunities, create fast and accurate estimates, avoid price-related objections, and increase your general close rates. So hopefully you guys get some good information from us and you enjoy the presentation. So, like I mentioned today, I am joined by several industry experts. My name is Michelle Middleman. I am the Senior Marketing Manager here at AccuLinks, and I will let our panel do some introductions. So, Lenny, why don't you introduce yourself to kick it off?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Lenny. I'm an account executive here in our Chicago office.
Awesome. Rob?
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Rob Soper. I'm Senior Business Development Manager for EagleView. Been with EagleView since 2017, but I've also been in the roofing and construction industry for 30 plus years.
Welcome. Adrian?
Hey everyone, I'm Adrian Ostreich, Vice President of the contractor line of business over at Acorn Finance. Similar type of background, actually. I was in general contracting with an emphasis on roofing. Very familiar with EagleView and obviously, utilizing and integrating financing into contractors' businesses to help facilitate, the business growth and use these tools. So, and then we've also got Rick with us as well.
Hey, good morning. I am Rick. I am the Director of the Contractor Success Channel at Acorn Finance. And I've also have 20 years experience in the home improvement world, selling, training, doing all the good stuff that you do with roofing and everything. So I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining us today and welcome. So let's jump into it really quickly. For those of you who may not be familiar with AccuLinks, we are the leading all-in-one business management software designed to help roofing contractors grow. And our goal has always been to help roofing contractors operate their business from one single application. We are purpose-built for roofing contractors, specifically insurance, restoration, and retail. And since we launched in 2008, we have grown exponentially. We are award-winning. We've won 10 awards just this year, in fact. And now we serve thousands of contractors across the United States and Canada. So I want to give EagleView and Acorn a chance to introduce themselves as well.
Great, thanks, Michelle. I just wanted to do a quick 1-minute commercial for EagleView and just kind of level set everybody in EagleView 101, because a lot of people, there's some misperceptions out there with respect to what we do. So, really for all intents and purposes, EagleView is an imagery company. So we launched 20 years ago from pictometry, and EagleView started in 2008 to extracting data from imagery, and then using that data to build the roof reports that you very commonly use. We have about 130 airplanes, so we're not satellite. That's the biggest thing that I want to dispel, is we're not satellite. And the real big differentiator between satellite and aerial imagery, using our 130 plus airplanes, is the fact that we fly at low altitudes. We take super high resolution imagery, about 70 times the detail of satellite imagery. And we not only capture the ortho image, which is a direct top-down like satellite that you're typically used to seeing with Google, for instance, but we capture the obliques, and those images are roughly at a 45-degree angle, and we capture all 4 cardinal directions of the structure, and that allows us to see not only the roof, but the walls, the windows, the siding, the doors, and all those things to capture and recreate a 3D model, like a digital 3D model, precisely where it resides over the surface of the earth. So it's not just a model living somewhere in space. We actually know exactly where that model lives, down to the sub-1 inch in some instances, with the resolution that we have. We have massive capability. We serve the government vertical, insurance vertical, as well as the commercial and construction and solar verticals. and the reports that you're used to seeing, even with storms and hailstorms and hurricanes, we have the capacity to produce up to 49,000 roof reports in a single day. It's a massive amount of volume. We do rely on our technology and our intellectual property. We have over 300 international and domestic patents that secure the technology that we do. And again, like I mentioned, we are in several different verticals. So construction isn't our only thing, but it's one of the drivers of our business, and we enjoy a great deal of success because of our technology.
Awesome. Adrian, you want to give us a little Acorn 101 too?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, and great intro, Rob. So Acorn's a little different in that we're really the first embedded financing marketplace for contractors to utilize, and obviously, you can find it embedded in AccuLink software. But what that does is it gives you a couple of key differentiators to other players in the market. Other lenders in the construction space are really limited by their own singular buy box, their own underwriting criteria, where we are a marketplace. You've got multiple different lenders on the platform. We do the work of bringing on and taking that and removing lenders so that you guys don't have to do that. You guys don't have to become finance experts. You guys don't have to understand everybody's credit and debt to income ratio requirements. We do all that work for you. It's also 100% free, which is another differentiator, right? You don't have to pay extra for this service. It is a free service. The loans don't cost any additional money for you, even when you utilize them for a consumer. So that's a big differentiator as well. And then additionally, there's no risk to your users, right? It is a soft pull until they decide on a loan to go with. It is a soft credit pull. A couple other contractor specific things is there's no restrictions on these loans, right? Like, you can finance a partial roof. You don't have to finance the whole thing. You can finance. You can get really, really, really creative with this, and we'll go into that a little bit more. But think about that. We kind of designed this whole platform with the contractor in mind. All those challenges, and that's the DNA of Acorn. I'm a former contractor myself. Rick has been out in the field. Our CEO as well has worked on many different finance platforms, and there's always been limitations. We're trying to take those away. So there you go.
Awesome. All right, well, let's jump into the meat of this presentation here. So why is everyone here? What are you trying to do? Well, we know as roofing contractors, right, every sale matters, and the ability to identify upsell opportunities just beyond roof repair is a great way to increase your profits on every job. But how do you do that? What are some examples of upsell opportunities that you should be considering adding to your sales process? So one, probably the most common, upgrades, right? These can be anything from metal flashings, underlayments, better shingles, or exterior repair. You've got gutters, siding, windows, all that great stuff that you should be considering adding to every single estimate that you put forth. Another, roof replacements, right? So an insurance company may only cover part of a repair, offering to do that repair for $2,000 versus a brand new roof at $10,000 may seem like a big jump, but what you're selling is essentially, that long-term fix versus a Band-Aid solution, right? And then of course, add-ons. People are more and more interested these days in energy efficient options, whether that's solar panels, cool roofs, metal roofs, and these are definitely value add points that you should consider adding to your estimates. But I definitely want to let Rob and Adrian chime in here too, since they've been in the field a long time. They've worked with a lot of contractors. So Rob, Adrian, what are some other ways that your businesses are able to help these contractors?
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. I'll chime in real quick. Yeah, speaking from EagleView's perspective and the data that goes behind this, kind of every estimate, every bid starts with data, starts with the measurements and things like that, and being able to integrate the EagleView data into AccuLinks and use the analytics from AccuLinks allows you to step foot on the property fully informed about the opportunity before you even get there. And that's really, you know, being prepared like that and not trying to figure it out once you get there, and having really understanding the scope gives you the opportunity to think about what upsell opportunities there are that are out there, and be able to provide quick and reliable bids, you know, to the homeowners that are out there. And it really makes a difference. Homeowner purchasing tendencies are changing dramatically. Adrian, you probably see this. You know, I know my daughter's 26 years old. She's probably going to buy her next house on her iPhone, you know, or her car from a vending machine. Things that we wouldn't have done, you know, when we were her age. So using the digital tools that are available through AccuLinks really make this, you know, a smoother buying experience, and allows you as contractors to, you know, to increase your ticket price on every one. And I'll say, I'll probably kind of reinforce this, but I'll say you're also taking better care of your customers, because you want to be the contractor out there that actually provides the best service to your customers. And that means, you know, that people aren't roofing experts, they're not siding experts, they're not window experts. You know, that's what you're there for. And as one of those experts, you have the ability to really inform the customers about what's right and wrong about their house, and then help them fix it and repair it and keep it maintained properly. And then most importantly, capture that customer and don't let them go for the future.
Thanks, Rob. And I'm going to let Rick chime in here. He's got a ton of knowledge at the salesperson and customer level. So go for it, Rick.
Yeah, just a couple of quick things, and I agree with everything you said. One, I would never go on an estimate for a roof without an EagleView. That's just my personal choice. I think it's much more professional presenting and selling off an EagleView than a drawing. And two, even when I bought my own roof, I've been in the industry a long time. I called a friend of mine that's a great company to come out and present all the options to the customer. You know, print that sheet out, let them see the payment difference. Because when I bought mine, I was, you know, in my head, I was going to buy the typical HD shingle, the basic shingle that, you know, I sold everyone. And then I went ahead and said, hey, you know, go ahead and price the gutters. I was getting insulation either way. And price the thicker shingle just so I can see the difference, because I was going to use financing and the payment was only, you know, it was insignificant. And my wife literally looked at the bid and said, why would we not do that? And so that upselling is just that easy. The other thing I will tell you is that I had one of our contractors, I talked to him 2 days ago. He called me. I asked him why he wanted to look at financing now, because he'd been in business a really long time. He went out to give a bid on a window, which is not a roof, but still it was one window. He said I was reluctant to even go out and talk to the homeowner for one window. I went out, I gave the bid, I, you know, talked to her a little bit. I told her I'd follow up in a few days. When he followed up with her, she went with a competitor. Not only did she buy the whole house, but the reason she bought the whole house of windows, not the one window, is because it was very affordable with financing. So those are two different ways to really look at how the financing is going to help you, you know, get you where you want to be. And just like Rob said, you want to give the customer the best opportunity, because they're only usually going to do this project once. So let them, you know, have the opportunity to do everything right the first time. It just makes a better customer more happy, and you're going to get more referrals from that customer down the line.
Yep. And what's great about all of this, both Rob and what Rick contributed, is you can do all of this through AccuLinks. We are a CRM. So basically what we do is, you know, sorry about that. We help roofing contractors capitalize on these upsell opportunities, right? So as a CRM, we have business management tools that make it really easy for you guys to identify those upsells and incorporate them into your sales process. And you know, like they said, help close the deal. Some of those things, which I'll get into on the next slide, you know, we provide data to help you identify those best candidates. We make it really easy for you to estimate project costs, whether that's just the basic roof or all the way up to, you know, one with all the bells and whistles. We offer a variety of payment methods, whether that's digital payment or financing. And then we have all of these fantastic comprehensive reports that you can use to analyze and understand your job profitability, so you can really make the best decisions for your roofing business, which trades to offer, which ones are the best when you're meeting with that homeowner. So I'll go through these quick, and then I'd love for both Rob and Adrian to kind of talk about their solutions. But again, some of these fantastic tools that you have access to in AccuLinks or a CRM, you can manage all of your contacts, your job history, and more, all from one centralized location. And Lenny's actually going to show you what that looks like here in a little bit. We have a predictive AI tool that lets you identify the leads that are most likely to convert with your company. We have a whole suite of automations, including email and text. So like, Rick was saying, you can follow up with those customers right away, and that's all automated. So that's not something that you have to sit there and manually do. We also have real-time pricing, material pricing, with the 3 largest suppliers, ABC, Beacon, and SRS. So you're getting that instant pricing on all of those options that you can incorporate into your estimates. We integrate with EagleView, so you can order your reports directly in AccuLinks. We also have digital payment processing, ACH and credit cards, integrated financing with our partners at Acorn, and then reports, including profitability reports, material spends, all the things that you need in order to really make those decisions. So that's kind of some of the tools that we have in AccuLinks. And like I said, Lenny's going to show you those in action. But first, I want Rob to kind of talk about some of these great EagleView reports that you can order directly from AccuLinks.
Thanks, Michelle. So I did want to kind of go back and talk a little bit more about some of the EagleView offerings. So many of the contractors are familiar with EagleView roofing reports and don't realize that we, because of those oblique imageries that we capture with our airplanes, we can actually capture the siding and the windows and doors and things like that. So we have several different products. We have a premium roofer product, which is really kind of our core. But we also have a walls, windows, and doors product that provides elevation details and measurements on all facets or all elevations of the home. And we just launched in the last week a new product, which is just a single SKU. So it's a whole home product. So it has everything. It's the roof and the walls, windows, and doors all bundled into one product, delivered through the integration with AccuLinks, and then built into the estimator that Lenny's going to show you guys. And really the point with that, we were curious, and a couple months ago went back and looked at some of the top contractors who are ordering a lot of EagleView roof reports through the platform, and we wanted to understand what their business lines were. And when we went in and started looking at contractors' websites, we realized that over 50% of the contractors who almost order EagleView roof reports exclusively sell siding and gutters and windows and doors and other trade types on the exterior. And the point of that is, when you start with a whole home, when you start with all of the data that is wrapped in the home, not only are you more prepared when you show up at the job to meet the needs of your customer. If it's a roof lead, just because it's a roof lead doesn't mean there's not a siding opportunity or a window opportunity or a door opportunity. And I can say, like my neighbor, for instance, my house is pretty close to my neighbor's, and I look over at his house all the time, and the trim around his windows is rotting out. And he knows it, he just hasn't gotten it fixed. But when we get a hailstorm and he calls for a roofer, and they don't answer they don't go around and look at the windows and siding, they're missing a huge opportunity. And like I said, we know that more than 50% of the contractors, I think, in AccuLinks are probably offering multiple trade types. And there's a huge opportunity. And I'll also mention that even if you miss this, siding's not an option because it's good, doesn't mean it won't be an option next year or the year after that. And when you retain your customers and you build those referrals, it costs so much to retain a customer or to acquire a customer nowadays. The last thing you want to do is lose them. And the best way you can do that is staying in touch. And if you're armed with all of the data on their house, you can use it this year, next year, the year after that. Every time you have a touch point with your customer, you've got all the data at hand in order to really leverage that to take care of your customer's property, because you are, if I were in the construction world, I started out as a shingler, I worked for a manufacturer for 16 years as well, so I'm inside and out on this stuff, and that really matters. So really being able to fully understand the structure and capture that data and go about that is really important. couple other points that I just wanted to bring up. Some of the best margins are accessories on the roof, whether it's ventilation, solar. I mean, EagleView's got a wide array of solar reports as well. Roofing, windows, ventilation, insulation. One of the attributes, for instance, on our roof reports is the square footage of the attic. We don't know whether it's a vaulted ceiling, but we know what the footprint of the second story is under the roof. So we know, essentially on a traditional structure, probably like the one we're seeing here, we know what the ventilation is. And if you're a good roofer, you're making sure that the house is properly ventilated for a couple of reasons. One, that helps the house perform better. And two, if you're aligned with the manufacturer requires the house to be properly ventilated in order to have the manufacturer's warranty. And you don't want to shortchange the homeowner by underventilating a property. And I can tell you, for an example, I moved into our house. I live in Colorado. A lot of very tract building, a lot of high-speed building there. And about a year or so after we moved in, I was going around my house. I was inspecting everything, and I was looking at the soffit vents. They were like 4 by 12 soffit vents that were cut in there, and I wanted to improve the ventilation. So I popped one off to cut the hole bigger, and realized that there were no holes in it. The contractor literally just nailed the vent right to the soffit, never cut a hole. So I literally had no ventilation. And I guarantee you I'm not the only one out there, wherever that is. So those are the things, as a contractor, again, if you come out there looking at every opportunity to upsell and have the data available, like knowing exactly what the ventilation requirement would be if it were ventilated properly, that's a huge opportunity to just add incremental value. And I think Rick said the same thing. I mean, just show me the whole thing, and then, talk to me about monthly payments. And that's where you can really capture those customers.
Awesome. We'll let Adrian kind of talk about, financing and how that plays into this whole upsell process. I mean, we've kind of already alluded to it, but I'll let the expert.
Yeah, and it's just to carry forward. Now you've educated the customer. Now, the customer they have their budget. Well, now that doesn't limit you anymore, right? You are unlimited with what you can offer. And Rick made a great point earlier in saying, look, homeowners typically take on one major project. So if you're there and you're pitching a roof, that is a major project. It's a once in a lifetime thing for most homeowners. So make it affordable, right? And make it, give them the options, right? And sell that monthly payment versus the lump sum, or that monthly payment on top of their budget, right? They can have a lower monthly payment. They use part of their budgeted funds, but it just gives you all that flexibility. And a $300 a month payment for something that they will never have to worry about again. And oftentimes doing all these upgrades, they're going to see savings on their utility bills, right? If you're doing the roof and new windows and insulation, they're going to see savings on their utility costs. So oftentimes it's a super sound investment on them. It'll increase the value of their home, but we also are just giving them up to $100,000 worth of additional funds to get these jobs done.
Adrian, I'll say the other thing that I would mention is, living in Colorado, a hail-prone area, class 4 impact-resistant shingles, from the manufacturers, your insurance carriers offer you discounts for your insurance premiums if you have hail-resistant shingles, and they do perform better. There's no question about it. All the manufacturers now have class 4 products out there, and that's such a small upgrade that you can roll into your financing. It's like it almost makes no difference to the monthly payment, and you're gonna get that money back right away. It's more money in your pocket as a contractor, a ticket price, and for the homeowner, that ROI is almost immediately with their insurance premium.
Yeah, great call. And there's going to be a ton of those. We're talking to contractors all across the country. There's nuances like that in every area, right? Like it might be impact resistance in Colorado, it might be wind resistance in Texas, right? For the hurricanes, right? So why not sell those upgrades? You're giving your customer a better experience and a better product.
Absolutely. Adrian, anything else before we sign off?
I just appreciate the opportunity. I think this is such a phenomenal set of tools for a contractor to utilize to just really manage their business and create the best customer experience possible. Any finance related questions, they can call us on our regular support line, but also just email Rick directly, Rick or myself. And so it's just Rick or Adrian at acornfinance.com, and we can give you just say, hey, give me a call or answer this quick question as well, and we can do that.
And again, just want to thank everyone so much for their time today. We'll see you another
Thanks,
time.
everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Bye.